At the heart of the choice is the value of complex, unpredictable, reactive footwork. Tennis requires a player to constantly accelerate, decelerate, change direction, adjust stride lengths, and maintain balance under disruption. Football drills, especially those involving a ball or small possession games, require subtle anticipatory reactions, micro-adjustments, and unpredictability in foot placement. Even just lightly controlling or passing a ball with one's feet requires rapid neuromuscular corrections, micro-imbalances, and reactive stabilization. That trains the nervous system to be more finely attuned to small perturbations in balance or direction. Where conventional warm-ups might include linear jogging, dynamic stretching, or ladder drills, adding a football component introduces variability and external stimulus. That variability is precisely what bridges the warm-up into the actual dynamic environment of a match, where the ground, bounce, foot grip, and opponent's shot all introduce perturbations. In effect, the football tasks create noise in the motor system, nudging the body to refine its control and responsiveness before match demands. In neuroscience and motor learning, exposing the system to variation under low fatigue helps sharpen adaptability and smoothness of movement transitions. Another deep benefit is in proprioceptive priming. Controlling or passing a ball with one's feet engages sensory feedback loops across the joints, muscles, tendons, and skin of the feet and ankles. It stimulates the small muscle fibers controlling inversion/eversion, dorsiflexion/plantarflexion, and tapping muscles. That heightened proprioceptive feedback early in the warm-up primes the lower limb joints to respond more acutely when transitioning to explosive lateral steps, pivots, lunges, and push-offs in tennis. In other words, the neural map of one's foot and ankle coordination is more sensitively tuned. From a biomechanics perspective, this foot skills also acts as a gentle elastic loading activation stimulus to the posterior chain, calf complexes, and stabilizers, hip adductors/abductors, intrinsic foot muscles. Rather than launching immediately into explosive bounding or heavy plyometrics, the football elements provide a lower load, yet dynamically loaded stimulus, waking up the stabilizing muscle groups. This progressive activation helps reduce dead zones or blind spots in movement readiness, smoothing transitions to higher intensity activity. Regarding footwork, tennis is defined by patterns: split step, recovery steps, side shuffles, crossovers, drop steps, and small adjustment shuffles, often called stutter stepping. The subtle micro-movements within those steps, how quickly you adjust your stride, how you absorb ground reaction forces, how you reposition your center of mass, are critical. Football drills force you to use mini adjustment steps, initially unconsciously, which help reinforce on a neuromuscular level the feel of microfoot repositioning. That feeds directly into better readiness to execute the tennis split step and transition into directional push. Movement style on court is not purely about raw speed or power. It's also about efficiency, economy, and fluidity under pressure. The random foot demands of a ball-chasing drill or passing under constraints teach you how to subtly adjust stride lengths and foot placement while maintaining balance and readiness. Over time, these ingrained micro-corrections translate into smoother transitions when reaching for wide balls, recovering from drop shots, or dealing with low slices. Moreover, the football warm-up component provides a contrast in movement planes. Tennis is largely lateral, forward/backward, and diagonal. Introducing footwork that involves varied angles, slight rotations, soft pivots and forward/back foot coordination, as in passing, activates complementary musculature and movement synergies. This cross-plane engagement enriches the movement repertoire just before one steps on court. It also helps pre-irradiate muscles that might otherwise lie dormant until stressed in match play. From a physiological standpoint, warming up via football elements helps gradually elevate heart rate, blood flow, and muscle temperature in a way that is sport relevant and neuromuscularly engaging. Compared to static stretching or passive warm-ups, dynamic, skill-based movement tends to raise core and muscle temperature while simultaneously activating fast muscle fibers and motor units. Combined warm-up strategies, dynamic warm-up plus movement drills, have been shown to improve jump performance, agility, and speed in athletes. Because the football tasks are dynamic and variable, they help bridge the gap from warm, moving body to responsive performance body. Another deep psychological and perceptual benefit comes from focus, rhythm, and engagement. Doing football drills in the warm-up forces a mental shift. You're not just executing prescribed drills. You're interacting with a ball, reading its bounce, and engaging in micro-tactics, for example, passing under pressure. That sharpens attentional readiness, hand-eye, or rather foot-ball coordination, and reaction mindset. When you transition to tennis, your mind is already awake, processing stimuli rather than being passively warmed. That jumpstart of perception can help shorten reaction lags at match start. In addition, the ball provides an external pacing and feedback mechanism. If you dope a pass, miscontrol it, or overshoot, you get immediate proprioceptive and visual feedback. That feedback loop engages motor correctness and adjustments in real time, which primes error correction systems immediately before match play. In contrast, pure foot drills without external stimuli tend to lack that continuous feedback loop, making them more abstract. Over time, repeated incorporation of football warm-up elements can help ingrain synergies between footwork and visual anticipation. The ability to track a moving object, ball, while positioning the feet is akin to tracking an opponent's shot while adjusting your stance and foot placement. This cross-transfer aspect has potential carryover to improved split decision footwork in tennis. It's worth noting that this is not about playing a full game of football during warm-up or striving for full ball control under fatigue. Rather, it's about low-intensity, controlled, variable foot skill tasks that stimulate neural and sensorimotor pathways without causing fatigue. The intention is to warm and ready, not to exhaust. The drills are usually brief, a few minutes, integrated after a general warm-up and before tennis-specific movement drills.